Philadelphia news, team of my heart. Hey Sixers fans. In today's video, we're unpacking the latest Sixers news and trade rumors that could shake up our roster. We'll discuss the surprising omissions of Allen Iverson and Joel Embiid from ESPN's top 25 players of the 21st century and how these rankings impact our beloved team. Plus, we're revealing potential trade targets that could bring us closer to a championship. Stick around to find out which players could be joining our lineup and how these moves might affect our future. Subscribe for more exclusive Sixers news and updates. Let's get straight to the point. The Trailblazers are in rebuild mode, and they're reportedly looking to offload some key players. The big question is, could the Sixers be eyeing these talents to boost our squad? It's a topic that's been buzzing, and you know we have to get into the details. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Imagine you're watching your favorite team, the Sixers, and you see a chance to bring in a high-scoring guard or a versatile forward who can make a real difference. Sounds tempting, right? But let's be real, it's not just about numbers, it's about fit and what they bring to the table. One of the players on the trade block has been a consistent scorer, averaging around 22 points per game with decent efficiency, especially from beyond the arc. Another player, who we're more familiar with, has had a solid career and brings experience and shooting ability. However, both come with their own set of challenges. For instance, one player's lack of rebounding might not fit well with our current lineup. You might be wondering, is this trade even feasible? Well, let's look at the numbers. The first player is locked in for a hefty salary, making it a tough match for our current cap space. In contrast, the second player has a slightly more manageable contract, making a trade more plausible. But it's not just about the money, it's about what we're willing to give up. If the Sixers were to pursue this trade, we'd need to consider who we're willing to part with. Key players like Caleb Martin, Kelly Oubre Jr., and KJ Martin could be part of the deal. This isn't just a financial move, it's about balancing our roster and ensuring we don't sacrifice too much depth for a single player. Now, let's talk fit. One of these players is a solid scorer but has defensive shortcomings, making it risky to start him alongside Tyrese Maxey. The other, while bringing veteran experience and shooting, might not solve our rebounding issues. So, is it worth it? That's the million-dollar question. Picture this scenario. It's trade deadline time, and the Sixers are trailing behind the Celtics and the Knicks in the standings. The pressure is on, and the front office decides to make a move. Bringing in this young guard could provide that extra scoring punch, but at what cost? We'd lose solid contributors in Oubre, Martin, and our bench depth would take a hit. Think about it, you're watching the Sixers, and suddenly, our rotation is thrown off balance. We have too many guards and not enough wings, leaving us vulnerable. It's a gamble, and while it might pay off, it could also leave us scrambling to fill gaps. So, what do you think? Is this trade worth the risk, or should we pass and look for better options? Maybe you believe adding a high-scoring guard could be the key to pushing us over the top. Or perhaps you think it's too much of a gamble, and we should hold on to our assets. Now, let's shift gears and discuss ESPN's top 25 players of the 21st century list. This list has sparked quite a debate, especially among us Sixers fans. Two names, in particular, Allen Iverson and Joel Embiid, seem to have been slighted. So, let's break down this list and see where our guys stack up. Starting with Allen Iverson, you know the impact AI had on the game and the city of Philadelphia. He's ranked at number 18 on ESPN's list, just behind Manu Ginobili. While Manu is a fantastic player with multiple championships, comparing him directly to AI feels a bit off. Iverson's career was filled with individual accolades, MVP, multiple scoring titles, and All-Star appearances. He carried the Sixers on his back to the 2001 NBA Finals, showcasing his relentless drive and unmatched scoring ability. Ginobili, on the other hand, was a crucial part of the Spurs dynasty, but he was never the main guy. His role was different, more of a super sixth man, whereas Iverson was always the focal point. It's tough to measure the true impact of players with such different roles, but if you ask me, AI's influence on and off the court gives him the edge. Iverson brought a style and swagger to the game that transcended basketball. Now, let's talk about Joel Embiid. ESPN's list has sparked even more controversy because our very own MVP didn't make the cut. Instead, Luka Doncic took the 25th spot. Luka is undeniably a fantastic player, with incredible talent and a bright future. But when you look at the numbers and accolades, Embiid has a strong case to be on this list. He's a 7-time All-Star, a 5-time All-NBA selection, and a 2-time scoring champion. Not to mention, he finally got that MVP trophy this past season. The major knock against Embiid has always been his health and playoff performance. But let's not forget, when he's on the court, he's an absolute force. He was scoring at historic rates this past season, putting up numbers we haven't seen since Wilt Chamberlain. His defensive presence and scoring ability make him one of the most dominant players in the league today. Comparing Luka and Embiid is challenging because they play different positions and have different styles. Luka is a phenomenal playmaker and scorer, while Embiid is a dominant big man who can score from anywhere on the court and lock down the paint. However, when you consider Embiid's impact on both ends of the floor and his MVP season, it's hard to justify leaving him off the list. Think about this: if Embiid had been healthy throughout his career and had deeper playoff runs, his place on this list would be undeniable. Injuries have been a setback, but when he's healthy, he's a game changer. Luka has had some playoff success, but Embiid's overall contributions and accolades make a strong argument for his inclusion. So, what's your take? Do you think Iverson should be ranked higher than Ginobili? Does Embiid deserve a spot over Luka? These rankings are always subjective, but as a Sixers fan, it's hard not to feel a bit slighted when our legends and current stars don't get the recognition they deserve. Let's address the broader implications of these rankings. ESPN's list not only highlights individual achievements but also influences how players are perceived in the basketball community. For the Sixers, having our players like AI and Embiid overlooked can feel like a slight against our team's rich history and present potential. It's a reminder that we need to keep pushing for excellence and proving our doubters wrong. Looking at the potential trades we discussed earlier, imagine the impact on our roster if we could land a dynamic scorer or a versatile forward. These additions could be the missing pieces that elevate our team to new heights. While there are financial and strategic challenges, the right moves could bring us closer to championship contention. Thinking about Allen Iverson's legacy, it's clear that his impact goes beyond just his stats. His heart, determination, and connection with the fans made him a true Philadelphia legend. Iverson's ranking on the list, whether fair or not, doesn't diminish what he means to us. It's about remembering his legacy and how it continues to inspire current players like Embiid. Joel Embiid, despite being left off ESPN's list, has already cemented himself as one of the top players in the league. His journey has been filled with ups and downs, but his resilience and dominance on the court speak volumes. Embiid's story isn't just about what he's achieved so far but about the potential for even greater success in the future. As a Sixers fan, you know that his best days are still ahead. Now, let's tie this back to our current trade discussions. Adding a player like Jeremy Grant or Anthony Simons could be a game changer. Grant's ability to stretch the floor and play solid defense would complement Embiid perfectly. Simons' scoring prowess and ability to create his shot would add another layer to our offense. Both players could fill crucial roles and help us make a deep playoff run. Think about the possibilities. Pairing Embiid with a versatile forward like Grant or a dynamic scorer like Simons could open up our offense and make us more formidable on both ends of the floor. These moves wouldn't just be about adding talent but finding the right fit to maximize our current roster's potential. So, who are these players we've been hinting at? Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons are the names on everyone's lips. Grant, a former Sixer, has grown into a reliable scorer and defender. Simons, a young and explosive guard, has shown he can put up impressive numbers even on a struggling team. Did you already guess who they were? As we look to the future, it's crucial to keep the momentum going. Whether it's advocating for our players' rightful place in history or making strategic trades to bolster our roster, every move matters. This is where you come in. Your passion and support are what drive this team forward. If you want to stay updated on all the latest Sixers news, potential trades, and more discussions like these, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. We're committed to bringing you the best Sixers content every single day. Let's keep the conversation going and continue to support our team through every high and low. Hit that subscribe button, stay connected, and let's cheer our Sixers to victory together.